Continue, we have corrections to the agenda. On page 21, item number 3, your appointments. Margaret, check. Change effective date from March 12th to February 26th. Item number 4, Melissa Kleinstein. Change effective date from February 24th to March 12th. On page 23, move Stephanie Wesh from leaves of absence to transfers. Change effective date from March 12th to March 2nd. Motion to accept the corrections.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
In favor?
Yeah.
Opposed? We have additions to the agenda. The legal report has separate one page. A motion to accept the additions. Motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? On the business agenda, excuse me, page 3, items 9A through page 9, item G. Do you have a motion? Page, the business agenda, page 3, item 9A through page 9, item B.
Motion.
Second. Questions, please?
Yes. Through the chair. On page 5, transportation, item number 7 is a request for approval of entering a joint with Jackson Township Board of Education to provide transportation for student living at 151 Downtown Boulevard. There's little information for me to go by whether I'm in favor of this, only because sometimes going into Jackson takes the bus way out of its proposed. Are you with me?
Which page? Which page 7?
Page 5.
Page 5. Page 3. A little dyslexic. Item 7. Okay.
Yeah, item 7 is requesting for a joint charge for one student. I'm not familiar with that area in downtown Boulevard, how much that student will cause the route to go out of its normal configuration, the way it was initially configured for 35 students, and how much more time would that to the route as a result of that. As you know, Lakewood has many routes in the past, which are either an hour or well over an hour, and I know picking up students from Jackson takes the buses many times well off their intended route. It's not obviously getting reimbursed, that's not the issue, but sometimes taking on new students from a different township will inevitably cause the route to have to be split, and then the district will actually lose a lot more money and time, and we don't have enough buses, as we know, from Lakewood as it is, to service our own students. So there's not enough information for me to go by whether I could. Is there anything that you have?
I don't have anything, but I can tell you right now, Mr. Henderson will not let that happen. If there was something that was going to take that route over an hour, because he's been working very diligently to get routes under an hour, and he has, as a matter of fact, the VRK route, he just made up to 50 minutes from an hour and a half.
That I'm aware of that. Is there anyone from the transportation here on the board that has more information about this?
There hasn't been a meeting.
No, there was no meeting on this?
No.
Okay. Let me move on to letter O, page 7. This was the bid that you mentioned for the roof replacement?
That's correct.
How's the structure of this bid? Is this one contractor for how many school buildings?
Well, it's item N, actually, that's the bids, we record the bids that we received. These are the contractors that submitted their bids, and item O is awarding it to the lowest contractor.
Correct. Well,
And that's for all the roofs that we have put in the referendum. That's accepted.
because I know that at some point we had a discussion whether we're going to peel it off into individual buildings and see how the contractor performs, because you can really get stuck with a contractor that's not performing up to par, and then we're stuck with the contract for all the other buildings as well. And I know we had this discussion and we decided, I know that there was no referendum meeting, committee meeting about this. So where was that discussion?
The discussion was never voted on to do it that way. It was just, we went with the architect's recommendation that this would be the best price we could get by having one person do one job instead of having several contractors on the site at the same time.
I actually spoke to the architect, and I actually proposed to the architect that we have two sets of bids. One is a bulk bid, which includes all the schools, and one is individual bids for each individual building, and then see if a bulk bid is cheaper than an individual bid. And if there's such a significant difference, then as a board member, I would be more inclined to go with that route and take the risk. But if the difference is not that much, why get stuck with a contractor that's not performing, and then we have a problem? You know, we had problems with the middle school contractor. Why are we going to all the buildings with the same contract and we can't back out?
And I said they didn't want to have different contractors on site at the same time. We want to get everything done by the end of the summer.
Are they different sites? Wouldn't this be different sites that were awarding
There are
to?
different sites, yeah, but they're in the district at the same time. And so one contractor is going to be a lot cheaper than you have 5 or 6 contractors, because they'll be dropping off their supplies at one location, and they can use that as a site to transport their materials. As a matter of fact, they're doing that now.
I share Mr. Schwartz's
I'm not okay with
concerns.
this, sorry.
I understand that there was some referendum meetings that one of the board.
Yeah, we discussed it at the referendum committee, and I think that was agreed as an option. Again, Mr. Schwartz had this great idea, and I think we will go together with it.
I just want to, the board has the right to do what they want, but I just want to advise you that if this is delayed, this will not be done by the end of the summer.
Well, that's not fair to hang it over the board itself, because I think we discussed it, and there's got to be no way out of this.
Well, I never got direction from the board to directly do that, to have two different, there was never a motion by the board, or direction of the board to say, we want this done this way. We've had referendum meetings, we've spoken about this.
I think Tom, what he's referring is a referendum committee meeting where Mr. Schwartz is the chairman, I believe. And that's where we discussed, and from what I remember, the committee asked that it should be done. I think Mr. Schwartz and I think the committee supported it, that it should be done both ways, so the board can see what are the costs in terms of both options, and to see if they have one contract that's substantially cheaper, then obviously that's a better idea. I think that Mr. Schwartz said that he wanted to see what the options are.
All right, let me move on if I can. Letter S. There is a proposal to hire a consultant.
I'm sorry, Mr. Schwartz.
Page 8, letter S. That there's a proposal to hire consulting services to manage the competitive contracting process for custodial maintenance and ground management services. Why is this needed? We've done contracts in the past without a consultant.
What is the competitive contract?
Well, I'm at letter S.
The advocate bid is something that we're doing. We recommend it. We've had experience with advocate as we can implement it. Just do an analysis of just food service or just the maintenance. To have them do an analysis if there would be a possibility of savings if we went out and rebid it. Advocates one of the top companies in the state for doing both food service and maintenance assessments. They would not bid on it, they would not be a contractor, they would simply help us do the assessment of whether it would be cost benefit to go out and seek additional bids or new bids and help us actually write the bids better.
Is this when the contracts are up, I'm assuming, obviously?
Yes.
Okay, so
It would be one of the contracts.
So would this consulting service also analyze whether, for example, I'm not suggesting anything, but say food service should be brought in-house rather than being contracted out? Or is it just to solicit more vendors, outside vendors to provide services?
They could look at it always. to see which is the most economical.
So this is a one-time fee of $10,000?
Yes.
Do an analysis of these three contracts.
Yes.
Okay?
Mr. Schwartz, are you done?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I want to ask a question about page 8, letter T. Can someone explain the competitive contracting that's being proposed?
What's your question?
Page 8, letter T. Can you explain what competitive contracting is? How is it different than what we do now?
Competitive contracting is different in the fact that when you go out for a bid, you have to take a little bit. This is professional services, and you're allowed to do competitive contract. You award it by points. You evaluate their scores. You have a scoring chart. You look at them and you will evaluate it. You don't necessarily, you just did it recently with your attorney, Mr.
Yes,
Clear.
but why we do, as of now, we don't have to do competitive contracting for general counsel?
No, this is to obtain the competitive contract, their quotes that we'll be sending in. We will score them, we'll have the board members score by the committee, and then we present it to the board, the lowest, or the recommendation of the committee, and you will appoint that person for next year.
The board wants to decide who our lawyer will be, not the...
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
The board would like to decide who our lawyer should be, not that the committee level can be decided.
Well, you'll have the opportunity once you get the contract, when you get the bids. Who's on the committee?
Could the attorney address this, please?
Yeah, right. There's a couple of aspects to this. One is, as Mr. Gamboa said, competitive contracting should be used in lieu of bidding, which is what we were talking about before for the maintenance service type of a situation where you don't want to take the lowest bidder because other factors are very important, such as quality of service. With respect to professional services contracts, the accountability regulations, require that you have some kind of a process for professional services to determine that they are being provided in an effective and cost-effective and efficient manner. That does not require you to do a competitive contract for professional services so long as there's some mechanism you have to review those professional services. It's your option. You can certainly do an RFP.
Yes, what
Or
I
you
would
can
propose
choose
is that we
something.
develop, what I would propose is we develop some sort of a mechanism, but not to go ahead with this item T, because otherwise it locks in some committee deciding what determines.
Maybe we should refer this to the policy committee?
I'm sorry?
We should refer this to the policy committee?
Yes, and we could discuss that, but I would like to make a motion to take this out of the agenda, this item T, page 8.
I've been advised, by the state monitor, that we're going to request that we table the general counsel items, to put the rest of them on the agenda, but table the general counsel.
Okay, let the record reflect it.
Okay, so, whoever made the motion,
Yeah, I'll make a motion to table it.
no, the person who made the motion, Mr. Schwartz,
I can make a motion, so I'll amend my motion to table letter T.
and Mr. Freeman.
Second that?
Yes.
So, continue.
All right. Joe, you have any more? What? You have any questions? No, I'm done. We can go roll.
Okay. Mr. Freeman?
I'm voting yes on everything except vote. I'd like to go back to the referendum committee, Mr. Schwartz's recommendation. I don't. I'm voting no on it.
Mr. Jackowitz?
I'll vote yes, even though I do agree with Mr. Schwartz, but I don't want at this point that I don't want to be delayed, or else we can do it quickly.
So yes on everything?
How long will it take for us to look at for individual bids?
How long would Mr. Schwartz's process that we spoke about take? The bidding?
So you vote no on no? Correct?
He did not.
No,
He's asking a question.
that's a question. How long would it take Mr. Schwartz's proposal to do?
We'd have to do, you'd have to go out and bid.
Okay, I vote yes.
Mr. Schwartz,
I abstain from O, I vote yes on the rest.
abstain from,
Letter O.
and yes on everything else?
Yes.
Mr. Weinberger?
Yes.
Mrs. Lackett?
Yes.
Mr. Green, I have a 3 yes, 1 abstention, and 1 no on letter O.
That passed.
Passes. Thank you. Superintendent's agenda, page 9, items 10A through page 24, letter J, 1. Have a motion?
Motion?
A second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, Mr. Friedman?
Yes.
Mr. Jackowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Schwartz?
Yes.
Mr. Weinberger?
Yes.
Mr. Zlaki?
Yes.
On the addendum, the additions, have a motion?
Motion.
Motion. Second? Who's second? Alex, can't hear you down there.
Mike's
Too far away. Carry your vision. Any questions? Mr. Friedman?
Yes.
Mr. Jackowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Schwartz?
Yes.
Mr. Weinberger?
Yes.
Mrs. Lackey?
Yes.
There's one other item that the board, and in a motion to move the meeting from April 22nd to April 21st due to conflicts. April 22nd to April 21st.
I'll make a motion for that.
Short seconded.
Second.
Jackowitz. All in favor?
Just want to reconfirm that April 21st is on a Tuesday.
That's correct. All in favor?
1 second, so we have a board member has a conflict.
Okay.
He suggested to me.
Is there an alternate date that week other than Wednesday and Thursday? Is Monday available?
Monday? Check our calendar.
Can't do that.
Okay, Monday is there's no conflicts with any holidays or business agenda.
So let me rescind my original motion, and I'd like to make a motion to move the meeting to Monday, April 20th.
Second.
Okay, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Have a motion to adjourn to executive session?
Motion?
Second.
Second.